When it comes to being consistent, actually putting out stuff on a consistent basis, what advice would you give maybe your 18-year-old younger self and maybe the audience listening to this podcast right now? How can you be consistent?
Yeah, and I'll be honest about myself. I haven't been until recently. So, I have in other areas of my life, but the podcast I've been doing for 5 years. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, I recorded 10 episodes. I put them out every 2 weeks, I think it was originally. But I had a full-time job, and that completely took over after I started my new job. So, like, quick backstory is the episode 2 of the podcast is with Scott Harrison, founder of Charity Water. After interviewing him, I joined Charity Water like 9 months later because we liked the conversation that much. We kind of stayed in touch, and then I was like, oh, I'm actually inspired to go and work there. When I started that job, my podcast dropped off because, as much as my intent was to keep it going, it was really difficult because you're starting a new job. It was like quite a big role. I'm managing a whole team. I'm trying to learn about this new industry that I know nothing about, right? It's starting from scratch, basically. And so I had to dedicate my time to that. So I didn't stay consistent. What I've managed to do now in the last, I guess the last year or so, I have been really consistent. And the only way I've been able to do that is, one thing is making room for it and treating it like a job. Like I don't just say, oh, it's a side project anymore. I'm like, oh, this is half my time. This is what I spend is on the podcast. And again, coming back to that feeling of that embarrassed feeling, like, are people going to say, well, do you make a living from that? Like, how much money do you make? Are you making the same money you made before? And that's all the stuff that people worry about, right? But I'm comfortable being like, well, no, this is something that is a part of my life. I do it for many different reasons. It takes up half my time. That's the first part, because a lot of people, if you're doing a full-time job, it is very difficult to balance both. Definitely you can do that. I'm sure you're doing it right now, but it's just a matter of like figuring out how it fits into your life. Second thing that really helped me, it was committing to a regular cadence, which for me was once every Wednesday, to put an episode out. And I said that publicly. I said it on Twitter. I got interviewed for the Hustle newsletter, and they shared it in the newsletter that I was doing it every week. So once that was out there, I was like, okay, I need to stick to this now. And since then I've done that. And then the last part is just like, try to make it easy for yourself. Like, don't overthink all the details. Like, just use the same templates. But also I think it's important to only put stuff out that is high quality, that you care about. So that's something I've challenged myself this year. Is like, I was looking at my episodes last night, and I was like, I genuinely am not, like, I'm happy about every single episode I've put out. Like, I'm not expecting everyone to like every single episode, but I did, because it was something I was interested in. We took out the stuff I didn't think that was useful for people, and they were all really good people. So that's kind of the challenge, is for the rest of the year, I need to do this every week and only have great guests and only do high quality stuff. So it's about setting the parameters, for me anyway, the parameters that will help me understand what's the quality I'm going for, and then also what's the cadence that I'm actually going to be able to keep it going for.